Since its inception, TripRadar has been a nuisance, but lately it seems to be getting really out of hand. Let's discuss. So a couple of years ago, when Uber introduced upfront fares, along with it they included something called TripRadar, and TripRadar is essentially a marketplace of requests that you can choose from. But why do these requests end up in TripRadar in the first place? It's because the live request went out, a driver saw the upfront details, decided they did not want that request, and then it goes to TripRadar for other drivers to see it and see if they want to accept that request. And TripRadar wouldn't need to exist if the requests going out in the first place were worth it. This is another reason in the long list of reasons why upfront fares need to go. My current acceptance rate on Uber is 28%. My assumption would be that a lot of drivers have lower acceptance rates too. So that tells you why a lot of these rides, 70% of my rides, I'm not accepting, so a good amount of them are probably going over to TripRadar. And since Uber has completely gotten rid of bonuses, I have become really picky on rides. I have only been accepting requests that are longer than 10 miles and paying at least $1 per mile, or minimum fare requests that are like 1 to 2 miles. Those minimum fare rides that are paying $1 per mile for both pickup and drop off distance, why would I accept those when I can accept a minimum fare ride that's like 1 to 2 miles in total and get paid the same amount? I'm shaving about 3, 4, 5 miles sometimes. So this reality of all these requests going to TripRadar, this has been created by Uber. They stopped paying us bonuses. So a lot of drivers like myself are probably becoming a lot more picky. Here are just a few examples of the garbage that I see in TripRadar constantly. And again, these TripRadar requests are going there for a reason. Drivers are not accepting this bullshit in the first place, so it's going to TripRadar. And the main thing that's been pissing me off about TripRadar lately is when I go into destination mode. When I go into destination mode, TripRadar is going nuts. I'm constantly seeing these TripRadar requests that say they're outside of my destination. I am in destination mode. I don't give a shit about these requests. I want requests that are going to bring me closer to my destination. I don't want requests that are outside of my destination. Get rid of this. And my typical destination mode routine is to go into destination mode on both Lyft and Uber. It got so bad with Uber last week with TripRadar going nuts that I just went offline with Uber and just stayed in destination mode with Lyft. Now, occasionally you will see unicorn rides in the TripRadar queue, rides that are worthy of your acceptance of them. I see those very few and far between. So occasionally I will see a request in TripRadar that I want to accept, but I'd say 90% of the time it's just a waste of my time to look at TripRadar. Also, I wish there was a way to turn those TripRadar notifications off completely. I'm so sick of that constant beeping sometimes. Again, it's just annoying and a waste of time. Now, what is the advice we can give? One would be just to accept the real-time requests that are coming to you so those requests never get thrown to TripRadar in the first place, but there's no way in hell we're going to recommend that. One main thing to do is just to drive for Lyft. Don't drive for Uber. If Uber's going to do this stuff with TripRadar, we can show them how badly it needs to go by not driving for them at all. I mean, the main thing I recommend is when TripRadar is annoying you like all hell, like it does me sometimes, is just to go offline with Uber and log in with Lyft. So overall, TripRadar sucks. It needs to go. It's just one of the many reasons in the long list of reasons why upfront fares need to go. There's a rate card in Washington State. We're fighting for a rate card here in the city of Minneapolis. We need rate cards nationwide again so we can finally be rid of upfront fares, and there should be no reason at all for TripRadar. But what do all of you think? Are you as annoyed by TripRadar as I am? Has it been going nuts for you like it has for me lately? Leave a comment below and let us know. If you've yet to download the Solo app, be sure to check that out. We have our referral link in the description. We also have a free newsletter if you haven't signed up for that yet. That link is in the description as well. And if you've yet to watch my video on riders giving me directions, please check that one out. Thanks again for watching and drive safe. Thanks.